What is St. Basil Academy? First and foremost, it's a home, and the children know that. It's a place where children are allowed to grow, and my staff is allowed to grow, in a very safe environment. It's a place where they can learn to trust individuals and people for the first time in their lives, adults. As a result of that, they learn to trust and love God. It's a loving environment, a caring and nurturing environment, a place of light, absolutely. The light of Christ shines here. St. Basil Academy was established in 1944 by Archbishop Athenagoras, who right after that became Ecumenical Patriarch in Constantinople. So at the end of the war, towards the end of the World War II, he realized that he needed a place for orphans. And he looked around and found this place called the Rupert Estate. Jacob Rupert was the original owner. And he came and looked at it, and he fell in love with it, and he went back and says, I have a great lady who's going to purchase this. And everyone's looking at him and saying, who is this person? And he started calling all the Philoptochos ladies chapters from around the country and said, empty your treasury, you're buying this. But from the very beginning, the Archbishop knew and realized that it wasn't just for orphans, but there were situations where a divorced parent, a widowed parent, couldn't really raise the children. The grandparents weren't able to take care of them. So from the very beginning in 1944, children came that were from broken homes, from divorced parents, from deceased parents, from emotionally disturbed or sick parents, and that's continued.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm gonna be 13 in March, and I've been here since I had just turned 6. It feels relieving to be here because I sort of have, there's sort of the feeling that if, my mom can't take care of me and my dad is working, that I can come here and, because we don't have a lot of money, so if my mom, if she's having to deal with money, I don't have to, we don't have to be her main problem here.
St. Basil is so special to me because, they're a family. We fight like a family, we eat dinner together, we go to chapel together, we go on vacations together, we do a lot of things together. And when I was at home, we didn't really do that. I would eat dinner separately, or I'd be doing my homework by myself, but at St. Basil's, they would help me with my homework, they would go over and beyond.
I came here not doing so well in school at home. I was getting suspended, I was getting bad grades, and St. Basil's was taking me to another school. I wasn't doing so good in that, so they had me homeschooled here, and it's been going really well so far, and they just taught me how to step up my game up a little.
For me, St. Basil's was really important because I remember getting here, actually, and Father Costas was asking me how I felt about church, and I was like, well, I've never gone to church before, but I'll try it, and that was my answer. I ended it on that note, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And I went to church, and I didn't like it the first week, and I was kind of like, this is a waste of time, I could be sleeping. And then I about a half a year in, I started going to Orthros every morning. So I went from not caring to wanting to be there more than everybody else.
St. Basil Academy is a necessity for the children that occupy the space. They are given the opportunities to create something of their lives. Without this, you just never know which path the children will take.
I feel this is home for me is because they give me opportunities that my family couldn't give to me at home. They gave me coping skills, they gave me skills to get through life that I really couldn't figure out on my own.
I learned how to be respectful. I came here at such a young age, so they taught me everything. I've been through everything with them.
I don't know where I'd be without this place. I've had a lot of issues in the past with a lot of different forces, I suppose. Parental, myself, I guess not substance, but lack of substance. So like if I needed help with something, I didn't have it.
'Cause I came here young, so I learned mostly like consequences here because there weren't like my parents didn't have time to deal with me. So like I came here, I was like 6, and I was a really bad 6-year-old from what I've heard. So I guess I've learned like not to play around in the wrong way and not to be mean.
So we're the home. We do everything any other home does, any family does for their children, from making sure that they're eating properly and being clothed and educated, and health and dental. We have wonderful Greek American dentists that are volunteers, and they service the children. It's just incredible what happens with the youngsters.
You know, the children deserve to have a place called home that is pristine, that's being kept up. And the thought was, if we show them and we invest in the facilities, we'll teach the children that we care. We truly care about what we do here at the Academy.
So we raise the children like any Greek Orthodox family would, with those kinds of values. They do go to church. We have a beautiful chapel. They go to church on a daily basis, Monday through Friday, from 5:30 to about 10 to 6, a brief service and a little sermon. Father Anthony is our chaplain, and he does that service. Sunday mornings we have Divine Liturgy. And we have a few people that come from the outside, so there's a community. We have old-timers, we have middle-aged, we have families with younger children, and it's really beautiful. The children, education is very important for us and for them. So the younger children go to Bishop Dunn Memorial School, which is in Newburgh, New York. That's kindergarten through 8th grade, and then 9th grade and up, they go to Haldane High School, which is about 1.5 miles, 2 miles down the road in Cold Spring, New York. And we pay tuition. We pay tuition for both of them. And it's rather costly.
We survive on the generosity of man. Individual contributions from different churches, from different people, corporations. That's how we get by.
I've been here a total of 21 years, but this last stint is 17 years. And 17 years ago when I came, the children were really basically out of control. It was a very different place than what it is now. But typically a child comes to us, and depending on their family situation, quite often, we call it their affect, they have a blank stare, tovlematus. It's really, it almost doesn't go anywhere. It just stops, okay? A good painter is able to paint the eyes, and you have some insight into the painting of the eyes. Well, the children will come to us and there is no affect. And it's troubling to me. I don't think that most people would see it or realize it. And it would take us maybe 2 or 3 months for that to change, where they're able to relax. Now it takes days. When they know that there's structure and there's routine and there's people who care for them, and it becomes evident, and the other children become their mentors. So what happens is that they come with baggage, whatever it may be, emotional, deprivation, sometimes it's as simple as hunger. And we're talking about physical hunger, we're also talking about emotional, spiritual hunger. And as they become more settled here, little miracles happen, and sometimes they're big miracles. And you see that tovlematus, you can see inside their soul. I mean, the eyes are the window of the soul. But that happens, and without exaggeration. And they relax, and they become who they were meant to be in their creation by our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And that's really important. And it's not hot air, it's not just words, it's the reality of what happens with the lives of these children. And then all of a sudden they're smiling. All of a sudden, you know, I tell people, when children come, when people grow up, they have a certain emotional stuff inside of them. And sometimes it's good, sometimes not so good. So what we ask the children to do is to let go of that stuff, the ugly, the dark, the black, the bitterness, the angry, the upsetness. But you know what? That's an unknown area for them. You know, what they've grown up with 8, 9, 10, 15 years of age, that's who they are and that's what they know. And then all of a sudden we're asking them to let go of it. And that becomes almost terrifying for them. But while they're letting it go, that vacuous space inside of them is filled with what? It's filled with the consistency of agape, of concern, of caring, of oversight. Did you do your homework? Never have they ever heard those words in their lives, okay? Whether they went to school or not, didn't matter. And then all of a sudden, we're not only asking them to get rid of the yuck in their little beings, but we're also helping to replace it with wholesome, healthy, Greek Orthodox, caring, nurturing, loving, God-like behavior and values. So what you see are the children in that life process. And they really are, they're wonderful.
Where I'm from isn't home. Where I'm from is a place to go. But this is where I really made a connection to myself. I was very, very detached, and I made a connection to myself here and learned how to basically forgive other people and myself for things that have happened, and to love myself the way I need to be loved so that other people can receive it from me as well. And I think that's something that was really important for me, something I lacked in skill. So that was something that I really enjoyed. I love St. Basil's. It brought me religion. I had never walked into a church until the day I got here.
This has always been my family, I guess, because, yeah, it's always been my family. I don't really like, the family at my house is obviously like my family, but this has always been my family.
What I really don't know what I would have done without St. Basil's.
St. Basil Academy is really a very unique place. We get examined by the New York State Office of Children and Family Services, and in their final statement they say other organizations, institutions like this should go and see what St. Basil does. We're as close to being a family as humanly possible. But a family doesn't live in isolation, does it? A family lives because there are others around it that help it grow and help it be. And you are part of that extended family. We need for you to remember St. Basil, to pray for St. Basil, to make a referral if you see a family that is disillusioned, that is going through a hard time, that is having struggles, and see, even if it's something way out there, and we need you to keep us in your prayers and please help any way you can.